Sorry, it is almost 1 a.m. and I have cats rampaging around the house. So, yeah, pardon the loud scampers if you can hear it. Hi folks. It is Monday, February the 28th, 2022 at Man, if you can't hear that, I must look really silly right now. It's very, very early in the day of February 28th. What a world, eh? Part of me had a big spiel planned about international relations and war and racism in America and protecting transgender children. And I am so tired. I'm so tired in my soul, which is like the most privileged thing to say, because many people who are not white, who I know, have been so tired in their soul for years, if not decades, longer than I have. So I need to keep myself honest there. A lot of people have spoken about the topics of the anti-trans legislation going on in Texas and Florida, and they have talked about racism in the cross-stitch community, and they have talked about Russia's attacks on Ukraine, and they have done so much more eloquently than I think I ever could at this point in my life. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Julia. I go by Julicious. I don't know why anymore. It was an old college thing. Anyway, I am a recent graduate of nursing school, and I work night shift at a small community hospital about an hour north of Philadelphia. And it's hard, and I'm tired all the time, not just physically, but emotionally as well. And I used to be so very firebrand and so very speak out against injustice, and now I'm just trying to keep my patients alive and keep my mental health in good shape, and both of those things are very hard right now. So my usual, I'm not a very good ally right now. I will get better again. I just want to say a couple of things. Number one, regarding our transgender children, and when I say our, I mean the collective It Takes a Village our. I do not personally care what your feelings on transgender kids are. What I need you to know when you are interacting with anyone who is transgender, what I need you to know, no matter what your feelings are, the fact is, when you call them by the name that they ask you to, and you use the pronouns that they ask you to, you are participating actively in suicide prevention. That is the bottom line. If you're confused by it, if you disagree with it, if you think it's wrong, if you're not sure what to think about it, please, please err on the side of love. Call them by the name they ask you to. Call them by the pronouns they ask you to. It's not hard, and you could save a life. All right? Everything else I can talk about for hours on another day. I'm not going to do that right now because I can't. Number two, the Confederate flag is a symbol of hate, and I'm not going to discuss that anymore because that's just what it is. And I don't want to hear the argument of, oh, well, average gray uniform wearing soldier did not enslave people and did not participate, blah, 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 blah. Frankly, that is bullshit. They were upholding the ideal that it is acceptable to enslave people. They knew about the rapes. They knew about the lynchings. They knew about the torture. They knew about the beatings. They knew about families getting ripped apart. They knew they were complicit. Bottom line, I'm taking no questions. Number three, Ukraine. Lots of folks on social media have been posting very helpful links regarding what we who do not live in Ukraine or indeed in Europe can do to be helpful, and I would suggest that you go seek them out. If you follow anybody who's anybody in the Flosstube community on Instagram, you will see things you could do. I would just add that MSF, Doctors Without Borders, this is kind of their wheelhouse. They are ready. They have the most recent press release I saw is they are currently suspending their tuberculosis and HIV clinic work in Kyiv, Ukraine. And have kind of pulled back, but they have their, essentially the teams they send in during wartime, ready to mobilize at the drop of a hat. I think the two teams that are closest are, there's the team in Belarus and there's a team in somewhere in Russia. I think maybe in Rostov, but I'm not, don't quote me on that. So if you wanted to send money somewhere a little bit different than what folks on Flosstube have been advocating, I would always recommend helping out Doctors Without Borders. And that's kind of all I have to say to start with. I'm sorry I'm kind of spacey. I had 2 patients die last week. And it was not unexpected either time. And it was COVID related. Like COVID adjacent. Folks who were already immunocompromised, who got COVID in January and didn't make it. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. If you don't feel well, stay at home. This isn't hard. We've been doing this for 2 years. It's not hard. Are you tired of it? Yeah. Am I tired of it? Hell yeah. Inconvenience, people dying, inconvenience, people dying. I mean, come on. It's chaos. Be kind. Should I talk about cross stitch? Almost 10 minutes in. I'm going to talk about cross stitch. Whipco. Whipco was not as successful this month as I had hoped. February is always such a weird month, though. It's awkward. I didn't get a whole lot done. Like I had high hopes for the gamer, and didn't really get actualized. The Gamer, artwork by Medusa Dollmaker. This kit comes from Gecko Rouge, which is a company out of the UK. I am stitching this 1/1 full crosses on 25 count Lugana. And this is where I am currently. This page is not finished. It's a very sad story. Somewhere between here and here and here. So like this, maybe 50 stitch by 50 stitch square is a mistake and all needs to be ripped out. And I just didn't have it in me. So I filled in what I could and moved up to this page. That was hard. That stuff, you know, when you encounter something like that and it just sucks all the wind out of your sails. That's what happened. I mean, I have it narrowed down to where the mistake is. I don't know specifically where, so we're just gonna it's not gonna be ripping out full coverage. I have never had to do before. I can imagine that it is. I don't want to think about it right now. Anyway, that's where we are. This is on the Whip Go board 4 times. It's got 3 more opportunities. We'll see what we do. I have high hopes and lofty goals, but the reality is I don't have a lot of time or mojo. So we shall see. And then I also, my other Whitco project for February was Dracula's Confession by Lindy Stitches. I'm stitching that version. I'm stitching mine on, I think it's 32 count, although it might be 28 count, because everything looks huge. Linen, by the artist formerly known as Picture This Plus. This is Cauldron. I'm stitching it 2/2 with some of the called for threads, some threads from my stash. This orangey bit along the side, along the left side, is a limited edition Color and Cotton from, I think, their first Halloween box. What I ended up doing was I ended up frogging all of the words and then stitching them again, correctly this time, with the correct floss, that is Weeks Dye Works Rum Raisin. I got the called for dinky dyes for the bat, started filling that in. The outline of these leaves, I decided to use Gentle Arts hickory sticks. I really like that kind of gray brown. So that's where we are. It was very much a sort of progress on this was very much sort of a 1 step back, 2 steps forward kind of deal, but still forward progress. So that's that. Everything is so washed out. Elijah Cat, what are you doing? Cats. Y'all are lucky you're cute. That's all I have to say right now. You're lucky you're cute. So, that was the Whip Go stitching, and I also have been trying to put in little bits of work here and there in the one stitch along I'm participating in this year, which is Lindy Stitch's The Bird Crush Club. She has 2 patterns out so far. January's was Stellar's J, and February's is Black-Bellied Whistling Ducks. I am stitching these all on one piece of 40 count linen. The colorway is Lamb's Wool. It's from XJU Designs. I finally finished up Stellar's J. Working on the Black-Bellied Whistling Ducks. Have a bunch to frog. Like, the Whistling Ducks needs to come out because they're about 4 stitches too far this way. I need to move them over. And there's something going on over here. I think all this stuff is about 1 stitch too low. And no, I'm not going to fudge it because number 1, I'm considering making this a gift, and number 2, because I am stitching it all on one piece, I kind of need things to be accurate so that when I am plotting the next pattern on the fabric, it's straight. And I don't know, I'm generally too fussy to just fudge it. Just how I am. It probably has to do with anxiety. I know a lot of you think that that's really silly, but I don't like fudging. I just as soon rip and do over. Do I enjoy ripping and doing over? No. Am I happier in the long run? Yeah, I am. The next 2 numbers for March, they are, what are they, 15 and 25? I think they're 15 and 25. I looked them up right before I started filming and promptly forgot, but I think they're 15 and 25. Mine are 15, I think, is Witch's Garden Sampler by Not Forgotten Farm. That's a terrible photo. I am stitching this, it's charted in DMC. I am doing some DMC and some fancy floss because I felt like it. I'm stitching this on a piece of fabric that's too big, but that's all right. This is 40 count linen. This is Vintage Country Mocha. It's my first time using Vintage Country Mocha. I don't mind it. It would be really nice to finish this month. I don't want to hold my breath, but it would be really nice to finish this month. Yeah, it's really foldy and wrinkly and washed out. I need to do something about the lighting, but this is where I am. I love the funky alphabet. I think I say that every time that I show this to anybody. So really, I have a tree to put in, the rest of the verse, a couple of snakes, a lady in a coffin, some little bits and bobs here and there. So, I mean, feasibly, this could be a finish this year. You think I can do it? Man, this is washed out. I promise it looks better in person. So the house is Weeks Dye Works Bright Leaf. I know that's the one. The black, instead of using 310, well, if I were stitching it in DMC, I would swap out the 310 for Anchor Black because Anchor Black is the best black I will die on that hill. I'm using Classic Colorworks Black Coffee in this one. The darker brown, I think in the roof of the house I'm using is Classic Colorworks Caterpillar. Those are the main ones, yeah. Classic Colorworks Copper Penny in, I don't know that I've actually put Copper Penny in yet. Pelican Gray by Weeks Dye Works. Parchment. I have not put parchment in yet. I'm just rambling at this point. This is very fun, and yeah. Finish? Maybe. Cheer me on. Or not. Okay. And then, so this was, this is number 15 on my WIPGO board, and then number 25, haha, is something relatively new for me, relatively new start. And this is Going to Market by Dimensions. This is, I believe it's an out-of-print kit. I found this on eBay. Fell in love with this when Michelle Bendy was stitching it. I believe Stephanie from Lindy Stitches also stitched this probably about 5 years ago. Love it because I need some diversity in my stitching and in the art that is hanging in my home. Now I know somewhere there was a companion piece to this with lots of yellow, I think. Yellow and orange, I think. Anyway, if any of you are familiar with it or have a lead on where I might find it, even if it's just the pattern, not a kit, just the pattern, let me know. So this is the kit. I am stitching this on the Ada. I think it's 14 count. Is this 14 count? It might be 16 count. But I think it's 14 because dimensions usually, well, actually no, they don't. They vary it. But it looks like it's probably 14 count. Ada, which way is up? This way is up. I just got a little start in the middle because my plan is I'm gonna like hop. So right here is about where I started. I want to hop, skip, and jump my way up to the top and work the piece from the top down. And that way I can, because I think if I complete it background and foreground at all together, top down, I can backstitch as I go, which I really like to do. Backstitch doesn't bother me, but some charts are more backstitch intensive than others, and I personally find that if I can backstitch as I go, I enjoy the process more. So that's the plan. Here we are again. So yeah, this is a little bit of mom's arm going down, holding little baby's hand, and the blue bit is part of her dress. So I'm gonna hop up to probably about here and then start working down. Not much of a start right now, but it will get better. I'm gonna leave that out. And oh, the needle, don't want to lose that. So that is it for March plans. I'm going to work on those 2 WIPCO things, and I'm going to keep working on the Bird Crush Club. It seems weird to talk about this now, but I'm turning 40 in June, and I'm trying to decide if I want to have like a special birthday start. Do I even have time? Who knows? Am I working on my birthday? I don't know yet. I would prefer not to, but at the same time, I work nights, so who knows? I want your input. Should I have a special birthday start? If so, I have some ideas of things that I might like to start. 4 things, actually. Well, maybe more than 4, depending on how you view it. So something you may not know about me is that I love Blackbird designs. That is something you might not know about me because I have never in my life stitched anything by Blackbird Designs, and I only very recently purchased any patterns from Blackbird Designs. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. One of the things I have that I am considering, well, I'm actually not sure how I want to go about it, but I'm showing it anyway. I, over the course of about a year, managed to collect all 12 of the Garden Club series. And I'm not sure if I want to stitch them separately or all on one piece of fabric. Initially, I thought, oh, all on one piece of fabric, but I'm currently stitching the Bird Crush Club on one piece of fabric, and it's proving to be a bit more challenging than I thought. I think because, at least between the January chart and the February chart, there is a difference in stitch count. Nothing dramatic, but enough that it's not trivial. So I'm not sure. Also, I'm also not sure how they'd all fit together. I don't know. I love them all, and it would certainly be nice to stitch them all, but I don't know. I don't know. If you're not familiar, we have Basket of Cherries. I think this is called Basket of Cherries. Yes. Apple Orchard. Honeybee. Sweet Home. Butterfly Garden. Tulip and Lily. Climbing the Trellis. The Rarest Flower. The Gardener. How Does the Lily Grow? Fairy Garden. And All in a Row. So I guess I'm just looking for your input. I enjoy Flosstube more when there seems to be a little bit of a group discussion, even in the comments. So, and I don't even know if I'm going to start that for my 40th. As I said, I have a few other things here. Last year I purchased the Winds of Autumn book. I would say just about everything in here I'd love to stitch. This little October 31st thing looks like it would be super quick. This little guy and that little guy and that little guy, everything. Oh my God. Someday, this is not a, this is, I don't know that this is a birthday start, but the Mighty Acorn, Mighty Oaks from Little Acorns Grow. That I love. Now, I do just want to say, I don't own it yet. If I had, oh, Waiting for the Harvest. I like this one. I need to figure out how to cover it up because the chart is like opposite. That's fun. That reminds me of Pumpkins 3 by Lottie Da. Anyway, Away We Ride. If I owned Away We Ride, that would be my birthday. That would be my birthday start, hands down. Nikki Clayton of HDF Silks actually has a thread pack for Away We Ride. So the day that I own Away We Ride, I'm buying that and slapping it on a piece of stash fabric. That's happening probably on 40 count, maybe 46. Who knows? You can't tell me what to do. Two other contenders for the birthday start. This I was enabled to purchase by Steph from Lindy Stitches. And, oh, pardon the glare, because there is cellophane. My very first Barbara Anna Designs chart. This is Skinny Wolf Farm. Pardon the glare. Oh my goodness. I just think it's so fun and so funky. I love the colors. It looks like it's probably a pretty quick, relatively quick stitch. It's not like a long dog or anything. And looks like it's all charted in DMC too. So that's a contender. And then this was a cat grief purchase, but one I'd been thinking about for a long time. Dimensions Gold, Maggie the Messmaker. Trying to minimize the glare here. Not normally my style. I know that. But I don't know. I love it. And you know what? I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm really not. So, full kit on Ada, tiny Ada. 18? 16? I don't know. 18. 18. Jeez Louise. This is going to require some brain power to start, just because the big Dimensions Gold kits, like, at least what I've seen of the chart, it's very, I don't think I can feasibly start in a corner. I think I'd have to start it in the center and then choose a side. Because it's like a 2-page chart, but the page break is like right here. So I have to choose, find the center, choose a side, do one then the other. Yeah, so What do you all think? What do you think I should start? I don't know. How long have I been talking? 35 minutes. I think that's plenty long. Plenty long. I hope you're well. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're open to letting kindness into your heart and just defaulting to that when those defensive feelings come up, like when someone challenges a core belief you have. And I know it's hard. I do. I don't have anything else to contribute. So with that, I hope March brings some signs of spring. If you live in the Northern Hemisphere, I hope that autumn starts creeping in a little bit and bringing you some happiness if you live in the Southern Hemisphere. And I hope that you're safe. Take care.